Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we got some big DC news, and I promise this one's not an April Fool's video. This is legit. I'm not gonna do that again. I was gonna do a slightly bigger video, but this news came up. I decided I wanted to make a video on this. That big video will be coming out on Sunday because tomorrow's my Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3 review, and the day after that I got my Dino Fury review. So let's talk about this, and that is that it came out. Hollywood Reporters had this exclusive, and it does have a statement from Warner Brothers and DC Films, and also the people involved with these movies have like talked about it on social media. So this is confirmed. This isn't like a report of, oh, DC's thinking about this. No, this is legit, and that is that DC has officially canceled both the New Gods movie and The Trench, which is this horror-inspired Aquaman spinoff that James Wan was working on. And I have mixed feelings on both of these movies getting canceled. Well, more like mixed feelings on New Gods. The Trench, I'll start with The Trench. So The Trench was first announced in, I want to say, early 2019, when James Wan, I don't think Aquaman 2 had yet been announced. Maybe it had been. I think it had been announced maybe that it was in the works, but there was no like release date or anything for it. It wasn't a definite, oh yeah, we're definitely making Aquaman 2, even though, you know, it was the highest grossing DC film of all time at that point. So it was like, duh, they're making Aquaman 2. And James Wan, the director of the Aquaman movies, if you know anything about James Wan, he is a legendary horror film director and producer, and he said that he wanted to explore The Trench, I believe it's one of the 7 seas. I haven't seen Aquaman yet, but I believe it's one of the 7 seas shown in Aquaman, and in that sequence is really, really scary. And he wanted to expand upon that into doing a whole horror movie in the DCEU called The Trench. And I thought, you know what, that's a no-brainer. Even if it's just for like HBO Max, that's a no-brainer. James Wan is a horror legend. I don't think he ever signed on to direct, but he was producing. And also, it's Aquaman related, and Aquaman is, I think it still is the highest grossing DC movie of all time. I could be wrong on that, but like I think the only one that's even past the 1 billion mark besides that is Joker. So that's huge. It just seems that they'd want to capitalize on having those strengths. Plus, you know, with Joker being R-rated and doing really, really well, you know, I thought they would really have an interest in doing more R-rated movies, which they are. They did Birds of Prey, and they allowed Zack Snyder's Justice League to be rated R, and now the Suicide Squad is also rated R. But I guess they drew the line somewhere. Maybe it was because, like, you know, Suicide Squad is an inherently dark property, so having that be rated R is maybe a little bit better than doing an Aquaman spinoff rated R, because that's kind of seen as more of a family franchise, that kind of thing. So yeah, The Trench, I think that's a huge mistake letting that go. I think they should have made it an HBO Max movie, because then HBO Max allows them to be a little bit more obscure with things. So like HBO Max, a little more niche. So it might confuse audiences to be like, wait, they're theatrically releasing an Aquaman spinoff that's like this horror movie that's rated R, which it was never said that it was going to be rated R. I'm just assuming it would be. But HBO Max totally would work. But anyway, the other movie that's being canceled is New Gods. So this is a complex movie here. So Ava DuVernay, a really accomplished writer and producer, really one of the great writing minds of right now, I think. She's brilliant, and basically she signed on in 2018, and as of now, and there have been some changes over time, but as of today, when it was canceled, Ava DuVernay was directing the movie and also co-writing it with Tom King, and it was announced in 2018, and now it's been canceled. Now, first of all, it makes sense that it would get canceled, maybe because, you know, it's not going to be made until at least 2023, but at the same time, it's like, that's such a missed opportunity. Like, I always thought that the New Gods movie was kind of out of place when it doesn't have the Justice League movies with those characters in it as well. But at the same time, apparently I'm wrong, because the reason the article gives for why it was canceled, and this isn't, I believe this isn't a quote from like DC, but it is like, their sources tell them that this is why. Apparently, it's because Darkseid appeared in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and there was desire to have space between the latter and any new appearances, which is complete bullshit. Everybody knows it's bullshit. I don't think I've seen a single person that's gone, oh yeah, that makes sense, because A, Darkseid is only one aspect of the New Gods. B, Darkseid only appears for like maybe 10 minutes in Justice League, and he literally has like 2 scenes of dialogue. 3, that's not even canon to the DCEU, which like isn't a full-on shutdown of it. Like that could still be like, oh well, he appeared, so, but it's still like nothing. And also, at the same time, if you're doing this theatrically released movie, only a fraction of those people watched it on HBO Max. So, like, being like, I don't think anybody would have gone to see that movie in 2023 and been like, wait a second, 2 years ago, there was that director's cut of a movie that had this character in it that was on HBO Max that isn't canon to this. This is really confusing. So, it is bull. It's not... Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, so those are canceled, and I think it's a real shame for both of them, because James Wan and Ava DuVernay, and also Tom King, are great minds. You know, they already had scripts going, obviously. Tom King and Ava DuVernay writing New Gods, and let me see, I can't remember exactly right now, but it probably says in this article, which I have in front of me right now. Okay, Noah Gardner and Aidan Fitzgerald wrote the script for The Trench, which James Wan was producing with Peter Safran, who produces a lot of the DC movies. But yeah, it's really unfortunate that we're losing these movies. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you are going to, if you hate the fact that these movies are canceled, or if you're kind of like, yeah, you know what, I wouldn't have seen those movies anyway, which, you know what, maybe I wouldn't have. It probably depended on the trailer, and I'm not a huge horror guy myself, but I think The Trench could have worked, so we'll see. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I'll see you tomorrow for my Falcon and the Winter Soldier review. Yeah, and... don't forget to subscribe for, I kind of already did this part, but don't forget to subscribe for daily videos on the franchises you love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.